Hey, what's up, nerds? Um, I had previous plans to put out a video regarding sleep and diet, and I failed to do so because when I went about doing it, I realized how unstructured it was, and that, like, what I had in my mind, I would need to do with those, TikTokers or whatever do with splicing things together so that it's like a cohesive sentence, but the video bits are clearly chopped up. Anyway, that means learning a bunch of video editing stuff or hiring somebody, which I'm not opposed to, but I think right now is whatever. There's no point in getting somebody involved. Whatever, that's a lot of work. So the conclusion I came to is it's just gonna be a rant. I'm just gonna without maybe write down some bullet points that I want to go over so I have like talking points, but not expecting much else of it. So I'll do that. But first, I have a rant to go on. And I'm going to touch on some ethics. And I want anybody seeing this, any listener, to consider how they may be enacting such philosophies, ethics. And it comes down to, in my eyes, respect and compassion for your fellow man and just taking into consideration how your actions are affecting them. Story time. I just went to go buy some weed because I'm all out and I love my marijuana. And I went to the bank. I park in a parking spot, and as I'm walking to the ATM, another car comes and parks right on the curb next to the ATM. And I know he's going to the ATM. And instantly my mind goes, I could hustle and get ahead of him, but then it's obvious what I'm doing. Like, I'm hustling a little bit because I know he's coming to cut me in line, and I won't go to cut him in line. I didn't do that. And he gets up to the ATM, like, my opportunity for that is gone. He gets up to the ATM, and I go, I could just park his car for him. Boy, is that asking for it. Just asking for public confrontation. But I don't know this guy. For all I know, he's a bitch. And he could see that and just be like, oh, oh, oh. And then when I get out and I go, yeah, man, you should have parked it in the first place, he could just be like, oh, okay, whatever. For all I know, he's a MMA fighter, and he could just pull me out of the car and throw me easily. Whatever. I look into the car, and I see a little foot moving in the back seat. Now, I'm not a kidnapper. But, just kidding. I'm not fucking kidnapping his kid for a millisecond. Obviously, I'm also not taking his car. But the rationale and the logic sounds sound to me. Of like, if physical confrontation is off the menu, whatever, off the table, then I think those actions are justified, appropriate, whatever. Of like getting in his car, driving it, parking it, getting out, not doing any damage. And of course, he's going to be like, what the fuck did you do that for? And it's like, I'm just finishing what you were supposed to do. Whatever. I didn't do that. It's frustrating to me because people with that mentality are everywhere. I live with one of them. Where they just don't, they put themselves above others. And it's not about putting yourself first, because you should put yourself first, because no one else is going to. But putting yourself above others, saying that I'm the one that deserves this and no one else. It's the guy going in the shoulder lane. You're merging onto the freeway. The freeway's backed up. It's the guy that goes to the very edge of that merge lane and then cuts in. Rather than just like going in at the first opportunity because he wants to be 4 car lengths ahead. It's just like, it's disrespectful. It's like, also, I need to touch on this. I realize it's trivial. So he got to go to the ATM before me. It's not a big deal. Which is why I sat there. Oh, here's another thing I gotta touch on. Is that my tendency goes to the passive aggressive. So like, I completely dismissed social distancing. Like, I got close to him because like, I should be at the ATM right now, not you. So why would I sit back and wait? So I just kind of, and then I like, made noises like, and like shuffle with my card and stuff, trying to let him know like, hey man, you know, just try to invoke some kind of thought from him. But passive aggression, and I just realized this today, because passive aggression is my go-to when, because I don't want that physical confrontation, because I don't feel comfortable in it. I don't feel safe. I feel like I'm gonna get fucked up. So because I'm a coward and don't want to get into that physical confrontation, I resort to passive aggression, which is like, well, I'm not gonna go, confront him to his face, but I'm gonna let my dog shit in front of his door every day because fuck him. Like, it doesn't solve the problem, it just, it's coward shit. And I don't like it, and I don't want to be it. I gave this guy a little bit of passive aggression, but I didn't do anything. I just was like vocal and kind of close to him. What was I getting at? Passive aggression. That it's trivial and it's small. I get it, which is why I sat and let him do his thing and then leave. But it bothers me, and this is like a quality of my person where, like, those small injustices really bother me because, and I want to right it. Like, I want to police that situation. I want to be the guy that goes up to him and says, hey sir, you actually need to step back and let somebody else, me, go in front of you in the ATM line. Like, I want justice. When that person goes to the edge of the merge lane, I want to be the cop that's like right in front of him and says, stop, stay right there, let 10 cars pass. Okay, now you can go. You wanted to waste everybody else's time stopping so that you could get ahead. Now your time is wasted. Now you're 10 cars behind where you thought you would be. You're not the only one. We're all in this together. And if you don't behave like that, you're an asshole and a piece of shit. You're not being considerate of the other yous that are inhabiting this world we live in. Like, it's just, you've got to look at it that way. Now I'm telling you what you need to do. I ask that anyone viewing this simply consider the actions that they take in their everyday life that might be imposing on another person. Here's my life philosophy. Every person has the right to do what they want with their gift of life. Whatever they want to do with it. Smoke what you want, drink what you want, have sex with what you want, so long as it does not inhibit another's ability to experience their reality, their life, their gift of life. Okay? I get to do whatever I want, so long as it doesn't keep you from doing what you want. If you want to drive 100 miles an hour, it doesn't bother me. But the moment you hit me, now it's a problem. If you want to drive drunk, literally, if I ruled the world, drunk driving would be fine. But the moment that you cause a problem, now we're going to be doing some corrections. Okay? Like, if you cause damage by drunk driving, 1, you're not allowed alcohol anymore. 2, you're not allowed driving. Like, it's not just you get a DUI. Like, I'm going on to something completely different. And quite honestly, if I ruled the world, I don't know if I'd be cool with drunk driving. But the point of 100% freedom and liberty, so long as it does not like impede, force, like inhibit another's ability. So bringing it back to the bank situation is like, I was gonna go to that ATM normal, just living my life, but because he got there and didn't go to a proper parking spot, he thought that he was allowed to just park on the curb and jump out and throw his hazard lights on. Because he put himself above me, he's now impeding my ability to go to the ATM. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's not a huge deal, but those are the things that I notice where I'm like, this is wrong. This is an injustice, and this is a problem of humanity. Like, if we. I'll get there, bud. Talking to humanity. I'm literally trying to think of things I might do that are like that. You know, um, I'm trying to think of where I go, you know, to something first. Like, if I go to the bathroom with a drinking fountain, or I'm trying to think at work, like when I uh, decide to not do something and then somebody else has to do. Like, those are the things. Are you pulling your weight? Are you affecting others negatively, unconsciously? Are you, you know? I think I've made my point. I think it's a problem in consciousness that plagues humanity. And I think when we think like, well, I'm a cool person, and I know there's cool people out there, but there's tons of assholes. It's like, that guy is not an asshole. He could be a super cool guy. He could be an asshole. That's not the problem. It's a small part of his mentality and the way he looks at the world and his fellow man, and the way things operate, where he thought that that was okay. If he was the only one there, fine. But so such an issue for me. It bothers me. So I'm gonna make this my first installation of a Michael Stevens rant. Um, Please take from it. Comment if you think I'm out of line. I don't know, man. I just I wish it was something I could change, and I can't. I can only take care of my own mentality, which it would be letting it go. Um, oh, I think letting it go would be what was best for me. Um, so this is kind of part of me getting it off my chest. Um, but I think if I can ask for a change in the world, that's what I would want. It's like, you, the person viewing this, just try and consider how you might be affecting people that bothers them. And I mean, it's a complex situation. I could talk on this for hours. It's like, because then it gets to words. I wholeheartedly believe that you can say whatever you want to another person and you're not infringing on their rights. You know what I mean? You'll pay the consequence, but you are not hurting another person's feelings. They are taking the words you're saying and choosing to be hurt. If somebody calls me fat, I'm not going to be offended by it. Not because I don't think I'm fat, or because I'm okay with being fat. It's just that doesn't affect me because it has no impact on me. Same thing with skinny. It's not a criticism that I care about. That being said, there are criticisms that could affect me. That's my problem. If somebody's like, bro, you are so freaking pale, you're like a piece of paper, I don't exactly like that. You know, it doesn't feel good. But you know what? If I'm going to get butthurt about that, that's not their fault. It's just not. So if have a good one, America. Talk to you later.